The entertainment world often blurs the lines between Hollywood glamour and wildlife adventure, but few connections feel as organic as the bond between Russell Crowe and the Irwin family. Crowe, the rugged Oscar-winning actor behind epics like Gladiator and introspective dramas like A Beautiful Mind, has long been more than a distant admirer of the late Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter whose infectious enthusiasm for Australia's untamed creatures made him a global icon. Their friendship, forged in the rugged outback and sealed through shared stories of daring exploits, has left an indelible mark on Steve's son Robert Irwin. Now, as Robert, at just 21, dazzles on the dance floor of Dancing with the Stars, DWTS, Crowe has stepped forward with a poignant reflection on what Steve might have thought of his son's graceful pivot from conservation to choreography, a revelation that blends nostalgia, pride, and a touch of wry humor. In a candid exchange with the New York Times, Crowe didn't hold back, his words painting a vivid portrait of Steve Irwin not as the larger-than-life TV personality but as a man whose rhythms were tuned to nature's pulse rather than a metronome's beat. Although Steve could read the rhythms of the seasons and every living creature, he was absolutely not gifted with a sense of musical rhythm, Crowe penned, his prose carrying the warmth of an old mate recounting tales around a campfire. He went on to quip about Steve's handling of a tambourine, transforming it, in his hands, into a deadly weapon. It's a line that elicits chuckles while underscoring the authenticity of their bond. Crowe, the storyteller, capturing Steve's quirks with affection rather than exaggeration. Steve's untimely death in 2006 at the shockingly young age of 44, during a tragic underwater encounter with a stingray off the Great Barrier Reef, left a void that echoed worldwide. He left behind not just a legacy of environmental advocacy but a family, widow Terry, daughter Bindi, and the then 2-year-old Robert, who have carried his torch with unyielding determination. Crowe's insight into Steve's hypothetical reaction to Robert's DWTS journey is laced with awe, imagining a father transfixed by his son's transformation. I think he would watch Robert dancing and how he uses his body, the strength and poise, and he would be in awe of his son, Crowe wrote, his words evoking a spectral Steve, arms crossed in quiet admiration, eyes wide at the fluidity Robert commands on stage. For those unfamiliar, Robert's stint on DWTS has been nothing short of revelatory. Paired with a professional dancer whose guidance has honed his raw athleticism into elegant routines, Robert has progressed from tentative steps to show-stopping performances that blend Latin fire with contemporary grace. His finale week placement isn't just a testament to talent, it's a narrative arc of reinvention, proving that the Irwin spirit, fearless, adaptive, thrives in spotlights beyond the safari. This reflection from Crowe carries extra weight because of his unique perch in Robert's life. As a confidant who bridged Steve's era to the present, Crowe has become a living archive of memories for the young conservationist. Robert himself articulated this during a heartfelt moment at the 2025 AFI Fest, where the red carpet buzz gave way to raw gratitude. "I'm really grateful that I have someone in my life who, he's actually been there to, in a way, keep my dad alive in my life," Robert shared, his voice steady but eyes betraying the depth of emotion. He elaborated on the treasure trove of anecdotes Crowe shares, tales of Steve wrestling crocs under moonlit skies or debating conservation over cold beers. "He has so many stories to share of him and Dad, and I feel like I build an even better picture of my dad when I'm around Russell," Robert continued, highlighting how these vignettes add brushstrokes to the portrait of a father he barely knew. The dynamic between Crowe and Steve was one of mateship at its finest. Two men from disparate worlds united by a love for the wild and the authentic. Crowe, born in New Zealand and raised in Australia, found in Steve a kindred spirit whose unfiltered passion mirrored his own intensity on set. Early memories for Robert often loop back to Crowe, perhaps a backyard barbecue where Russell regaled young ears with exploits, or a quiet drive where lessons in resilience were passed like heirlooms. Russell and Dad were just great mates, so it's a different perspective than when you're hearing about your mom, Robert noted at the fest, acknowledging the multifaceted lens Terry provides as the family's anchor. This male camaraderie, rare and revelatory, has instilled in Robert a sense of continuity. "It's meaningful. He's someone that I look up to and has truly inspired me," he added, words that resonate as Robert navigates fame's glare while honoring his lineage. Robert's DWTS arc, culminating in that nerve-wracking finale week, mirrors the Irwin ethos of embracing the unknown. From co-hosting Crikey! It's the Irwins on Animal Planet to spearheading youth-focused conservation at Australia Zoo, Robert has always moved with purpose. Yet, signing on for DWTS, a show synonymous with glitter, gowns and grueling rehearsals, marked a bold departure. Critics might see it as a publicity ploy, but for Robert, it's an extension of vulnerability, bearing his soul through samba as much as through snake handling. Crowe's imagined Steve would recognize this poise as an inheritance. The same body that scales cliffs for cassowary rescues now gliding across polished floors with precision. It's a poise born of necessity, honed in environments where one wrong step spells disaster, whether in the bush or under studio lights. As the season hurtles toward its climax, Robert's performances have drawn praise for their emotional depth. A foxtrot dedicated to Steve incorporated subtle nods to wildlife, fluid arm extensions mimicking a bird's wingspan, earning standing ovations and tears from judges. Offstage, he's candid about the challenges, the blisters from heels, the mental fortitude required to memorize choreography amid jet lag from zoo duties. Yet, buoyed by Terry and Bindi's cheers from home, he presses on, embodying the resilience Crowe so admires. In turn, Crowe's words serve as a posthumous pep talk, bridging the 19 years since Steve's passing with a father's projected pride.